Today is June 25th, and 75 years ago, at dawn, a conflict began that would profoundly shape the 20th century, the Korean War.
Yes, on June 25, 1950, the Korean People's Army, or KPA, launched a swift, surprise invasion across the 38th parallel into South Korea, a line that would become infamous.
To understand that moment, we have to look back. After World War II, Korea, previously a Japanese colony, was divided. The Soviets occupied the north, and the Americans, the south.
This division, initially temporary, solidified over time. By 1948, two separate governments had formed: the Communist North, led by Kim Il-sung, and the capitalist South, under Syngman Rhee.
That 38th parallel was the arbitrary boundary, separating families, cultures, and ideologies. It was a ticking time bomb.
And on that fateful day, June 25, 1950, at 4 a.m., around 75,000 North Korean troops stormed across it. Within days, the capital, Seoul, fell.
The international community reacted swiftly. On that very same day, the UN Security Council passed Resolution 82, condemning the invasion and calling for North Korea to withdraw.
While the war is often remembered for later larger engagements, an interesting early detail is the Battle of Suwon Airfield on June 27th, which demonstrated nascent UN air power dominance.
The war was incredibly brutal. Imagine temperatures of -54 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what soldiers faced battling frostbite and freezing conditions in places like the Chosin Reservoir later that year.
One veteran, a U.S. Marine, recounted how his toes turned black and snapped off like twigs, yet he kept fighting because retreat meant certain death from the cold or the enemy. A truly horrifying ordeal.
This wasn't just a Korean Civil War. It quickly became a proxy conflict in the burgeoning Cold War. The U.S. and over 20 UN member countries backed the South.
And the North received crucial support from China, with Soviet advisors and material. It was a, quote, limited war, in the sense that major powers never formally declared war on each other, but the scale of death was immense.
Over 36,000 U.S. troops died. Millions of Koreans, both military and civilian, perished. A truly staggering human cost.
The fighting ended with an armistice in 1953, freezing the front lines near the original 38th parallel. But here's the crucial point: no peace treaty was ever signed.
That means, technically, North and South Korea are still at war. The DMZ, the Demilitarized Zone, is one of the most heavily fortified borders in the world, a stark reminder of that frozen conflict.
The human legacy continues to this day. Separated families yearning to reconnect, POWs whose fates remain unknown, and those brave souls, many still missing, who fought for a unified Korea.
So, as we mark June 25th, let's reflect on how this single day in 1950 drastically altered the Korean Peninsula and global Cold War dynamics. It's often called the Forgotten War in the West, but its echoes resonate still today.